Tommy John, the legendary pitcher who once turned a career-ending injury into the most famous comeback in sports history, has died at the age of 83, passing away peacefully at his home in Lakewood Ranch, Florida, surrounded by his beloved wife Cheryl and his family, according to a statement released by his longtime agent, Mike McGuire. The news marking the end of a life that had already defied the odds once before, back when a radical, untested surgery brought his shattered pitching arm back from what everyone assumed was certain death, turning him into the bionic man of baseball and giving hope to an entire sport. But this time finally caught up with him, and the man who beat the odds once couldn't beat them a second time. Over an extraordinary 26-year career that stretched from 1963 all the way to 1989, John suited up for 6 different major league teams: the Cleveland Indians, the Chicago White Sox, the Los Angeles Dodgers, the California Angels, the Oakland Athletics, and the New York Yankees, piling up 288 career wins and earning 4 All-Star selections along the way. Numbers that would define most careers on their own, but John's story was always about something bigger than the box score. That bigger story began in 1974 when he suffered a torn ulnar collateral ligament in his left elbow, an injury so severe that at the time it was considered an automatic career ender for any pitcher, with doctors offering little hope that he would ever throw competitively again. Instead of accepting that fate, Dodgers team physician Dr. Frank Jobe proposed something that had never been attempted before on a pitcher's elbow: an experimental reconstruction that would replace the damaged ligament entirely using a tendon taken from John's own forearm. It was a gamble with no precedent, no guarantee, and no roadmap, but John took it anyway. He missed the entire 1975 season recovering from the operation, and for a while it looked as though his career really might be over after all. But in 1976, he made his way back to a major league mound, and what followed wasn't just a return, it was a renaissance. Over the next 14 years, John pitched some of the best baseball of his entire career, twice winning 20 games in a season after the surgery. John is survived by his wife Cheryl before the injury, 3 children, and along the way he earned Travis that nickname, the Bionic Man, with a private celebration of everything doctors thought was possible. And while he never won a championship ring, career eventually took on his own name, his true legacy Tommy John surgery became a permanent pitcher, universally recognized part of the sports and been given a second chance. A routine operation now performed on pitchers at every level of the game, from little league fields to major league mounds, credited with extending and rescuing thousands of careers in the decades since. Even in his final days, John's grace and gratitude never wavered. Just over a week before his passing, while battling declining health, he shared a heartfelt farewell message with fans after missing the New York Yankees Old Timers Day, thanking the Steinbrenner family and the organization for the chance to say goodbye, thanking the fans who had followed him for 26 years, and specifically thanking Dr. Jobe for the surgery that let him keep pitching and, in turn, went on to save the careers of so many pitchers who came after him. It later emerged that John had entered hospice care in his final weeks while dealing with a recurrence of bladder cancer, a battle he faced with the same quiet determination that defined his playing days. In the hours after the news broke, tributes poured in from across the baseball world, including from Los Angeles Dodgers president Stan Kasten, who praised John as an exceptional pitcher throughout his career and specifically highlighted the courage it took to become the very first athlete to undergo the surgery that now carries his name, calling his impact on players of every generation impossible to overstate. Tommy John is survived by his wife, Cheryl, and his 3 children, Tommy, Travis, and Tamara, with a private celebration of life expected to be held in Florida in the coming days. He never lifted a World Series trophy as a starting pitcher, and he never won a Cy Young Award, but trophies were never really the point of his story. His true legacy lives on every single time a young pitcher tears that same ligament today and, instead of hearing that his career is over, is told there's a surgery for that now, a legacy written not in silverware but in second chances, all traced back to a single operating table in 1974 and one pitcher who was willing to be first.